island of New Guinea, a group of men from the Stone Korowai tribe proudly show off the bones of their last victim. They believed he was a sorcerer. It was alleged he'd murdered a child. Their tradition demands that sorcerers be hunted down, killed, and eaten. Now there is a new death in the clan, the work of yet another sorcerer. This film is the story of the clan's revenge. The Indonesian province of West Papua is home to hundreds of remote tribes. But its most inhospitable and isolated region is to the south, in the vast lowland swamps. This is home to the Stone Korowai. Living in small family clans, they are, for the most part, a remarkably gentle people. But the peace can be shattered by seemingly arbitrary acts of violence. It's their only defense in the extraordinary supernatural world they inhabit, one of capricious spirits and evil sorcerers. There's been a death in the family. Alahope is in mourning for her husband, whom she buried yesterday. She's only 18. Grieving with her is Dupe. Alahope's parents died long ago, and Dupe has been her surrogate mother ever since. This unexpected death has traumatized and bewildered the clan. In their supernatural world, the obvious conclusion is it's the work of malevolent spirits. Alahope's husband himself blamed his illness on sorcery, and with his dying breath, named his best friend. For the clan, it's murder. And now they want revenge. Responsibility falls to the men. Katwal is the closest relative of the dead man. Just behind him is Lenga. He's already killed and eaten one sorcerer. That night, Dupe explained how Alahope's husband came to suspect his killer. As the dominant woman of the clan, Dupe is now pressing the men to kill the sorcerer Nonale. The supernatural world of the stone Korowai can be terrifying. And the most terrifying of all is the power of the sorcerer and the evil they can do. As grief and rage chart their natural course, a reason for illness and death must be found. A sorcerer must be to blame. So when a 5-year-old boy died just 8 months ago and a sorcerer was named, Lenga took his revenge.
Cậu bố đi vào một rồi đi một cái gì đi vào đó gì nào thì bắt đầu là lâu à mình về đây vào nó bán xuống bán nó bay nào thì nó bán nó ăn nó bún nó bay nào thì nó vào mà bún giá thì nó lên đây nên là lâu à mình về đây vào này luôn nói tao buồn mà thế tao là phải chơi xấu à đi vào.
By displaying the bones close to their home, the clan feels protected and sends a clear warning to other sorcerers.
Yo, Iva bây giờ thì Iva mình nào rồi? Nè. Iva mình nào rồi? Gì? Iva mình rồi. Bây giờ đi nữa nè. Iva giờ thì Iva bằng gì lại rồi? Bằng gì rồi? Iva bằng gì lại rồi? Así a mi hermano cubano me atende para no me sala tengo hasta cubano me la tengo ya no la habían que diferente sal me la dan va viaja viste va mina lima hasta la va na ola viaja hasta me lo balande hasta va me di bay ba me le da gudi ba ma me ma vi hasta va la lau bo le me li lita la gomba ne na la me volo la ya ndi le la va ya no di lai ban ta me la na yo man ya no tano dilay banta magdo no liat la mayu ya no tano dilay banta magale ma ne ya no tano ta ya no ala ahula ate to dalila il pa ho bim balo ajan aba hula timen la ajan ya no albati yet boda ajan to.
The stone Korowai believe that sorcerers kill their chosen victims slowly by invisibly eating them over a period of days. They leave no physical signs. The victims themselves have no idea their illness is being caused by a sorcerer eating them. Then, just moments before their death, comes the horrible revelation. That's when they name the sorcerer. And so, to retrieve the spirit of their loved one, the victim's family must, in turn, consume the sorcerer.
Jadi panto wa pete agua ahí panto di kumelo wa pete me dena huelo pe na ulalina no. Jadi yo na huelo pe yo ufula pa no ni no betamo la ufula pa no la mala lo yo me no pe una luz ni ala.
Una luz ni ala en sí me minamos a.
Jadi vi je me wa mo samate.
Me ai
polo
mau la no. A ve yo wa au fu ba te la wa mo no una luz ni ala. Na siete boton da. Mà nó chơi bà chơi là chơi đi bồ đà nó xia u lục bồ đà.
Bây giờ nó là lúc có con bồ đà rồi.
Đây là ai xia u lục bồ đà rồi.
Phải mà cái qua chịu vạ nó nó vây lâu luôn rồi. Mà chịu vạ nó vây bốn đại vài con một loại tao rồi. Luôn để bốc ra ta ở bên này bốc bài là phải luôn bộ luôn đó rồi. Luôn nào là nhìn ngoài tỏ nó phải vào mà bộ tỏ. Phải vào mà luôn điên tỏ.
The conversation eventually returns to the dilemma of the present sorcerer and his whereabouts. On the bank of the river Nagiri, just 2 hours' walk away, lies the recently constructed settlement of Senembru. Nanale, the alleged sorcerer, moved here not long ago. Now, suddenly, his hut is abandoned. His disappearance is worrying enough, but that's not the real problem.
Bà thế mày làm cái gì bà cha thì đó cho phải về lo, nó phun nó phải làm vì bà đi phải bài làm bao nhiêu, cái qua một bài làm vậy, vì mà nó, vì anh nó anh phải phải bài làm bao nhiêu, thế mày làm cái gì bà thì là, hai bên tối trong có, không phụ nữ một vài bộ tổ. Qua một qua là qua về lâu qua nhà thì là cũng kêu mà và qua một qua đua bà lại là
cái màu phim nó để cũng có màu phim mà họ cũng kêu mà nó tươi đó
mà về lâu phải
giá lên một tí
giá tiền mình là bộ mà đã út đã phải mà một vài ngàn này cày phải làm giá tiền mà đây là đó nữa.
Fear of the sorcerer and his relatives forces the men into action. The entire clan are feeling vulnerable in their ground hut. They begin work to repair the tree house, the traditional sanctuary of the stone Korawai when enemies threaten.
Nó mình nó bung lốp lên mà nó được bột tập thì nó quen mi gà đó là nào đưa ba lần đó đây y phụ bà ra cái lon tao lại tại anh có ăn làm vào luôn mà tao qua mà mấy bữa này mà cái pa vừa đi làm bao anh làm mà nó thấy bông gà lại anh vào lùa gà libat tao làm anh mà nó thấy bông gà lại gà libat
The forest provides all their materials. And the stone axe is their most sophisticated tool. It may seem crude, but it does the job. The stone Korawai never developed the craft of metallurgy. In that sense, they're truly Stone Age. And even if they wanted metal axes, they've only dog teeth and cowrie shells to barter with, valueless outside their own society. The man who's taken charge of fortifying the treehouse is the clan's shaman, Aliam. He's more relaxed than Lengan. He knows that sorcerers can't fly as high as the treehouse. The first step is to renew the ladder to make it easier for those women carrying babies. The house itself will need to be strengthened too, to support the weight of 3 families. The stone Korawai were forced into tree houses long ago. A neighboring tribe had turned to headhunting. The ground huts had to be completely abandoned. The only way up into the tree house was a simple pole with steps cut into it, which they could easily pull up if threatened. To a Western eye, the men seem naked, but for them a simple leaf protects their modesty.
Bà lớn bà mồi mà lại đỏ nó mò phô cao nó phô phô nó cũng có vào
At 60 feet, This treehouse is a normal height, but where the trees allow it, they can go as high as 120 feet. In its rundown state, every movement causes the house to sway. Even after the work is completed, that won't change very much. Replacing the walls is the final touch. For the first time since the death of Alahub's husband, there's a sense of calm among the men up here. At dusk, the clan leave the ground hut for the safety of the treehouse. They all want to be settled before nightfall. The treehouse is divided between the sexes, as it is in their ground hut. The women gather on one side of the cooking fire, the men on the other. The fire is set on compacted earth. For the teenagers, whose job it is, finding dry wood during the rains is a constant headache. For dinner, it's the remains of their sago hoard. As night falls, stories are told of sorcerers and their wicked man-eating ways. The forest they love, and that provides them with all their needs, can also be their garden of evil when they feel the lurking presence of sorcerers. Despite their present fear, the men have ventured out to hunt for birds. Banded together, they feel safe. The sorcerer preys on the loner. In another part of the forest, Alahope and Sig accompany Dupe on a fishing trip. Like the men, the women can't afford to ignore the daily routine of hunting and gathering. A tree provides the perfect bait. It's a termite nest. Inside just this one section might be 1,000 termites. Warned by the men not to stray too far from home, the women head for a small creek nearby. Three hours later, the men still haven't come close to catching a single bird. The best hunting is further than they dare go at present, but they're not giving up and decide to construct traps. The site they choose is close to a tree similar to an oak. The falling acorns are like honey for wild pigs and the cassowary bird.
Ôi, con cả có ghi đâm này thì vào. Nó sụp vào. Mà nó không bảo về tao đấy. Mà đi ra vừa mình bảo không to. Đi ra cái mà bỏ to về.
The women collect material to make the crayfish traps. The walls of the trap are constructed by weaving leaves from a palm tree.
Na tiba bola ni jaga na tiba kami mau tahu nubu ni mali mana bapa dia tahu ni kan hari yang kalau tanu lagi kita pun tak ada punya dah tahu tapi cuma dah jauh tu abian salah dah tahu rumah abian kalau tanu abu tahu aku buat gula rabi bola beria.
Young Abi is helping Katwa with fencing for a cassowary snare. Concentrating on their work and hopeful of bringing home meat, worries about sorcerers are temporarily banished. The noose made from bark fiber is lowered into position. Twigs help to camouflage the trap. An old hand, Katwa lets Abi in on a plot. Absorbed in their work, the women too manage to put the sorcerer out of their minds. Crayfish traps completed, they construct a fence made of palm leaves, in which they'll set their fish traps. A cone of bamboo traps any fish attempting to find an easy way through the fence.
Mà tôi thì ai thôi thì mới vào tiền thôi mà làm một rồi. Nhớ nó tiền thế mà làm một rồi.
Kalau kuliah ni dapat pun dah le.
Having finished their traps, the men have moved away and listen out for game. There's nothing around. When they do hear a bird call, it's coming from where the women are.
Đi vậy đi đâu vào là bút đi về đó rồi đến đây là ai bảo chẳng chẳng cái tầm bao nhiêu mà lên nó
ba đi đó ba đi ra ba mò làm tới đó gửi ba bà đi đâu khi nào
mà nó vào con tao đi như này đấy vâng có nó là
Dupe lets the natural weight of the crayfish trap find its own depth. Now they can all relax.
Này phải vai bà nào thì thay giờ vậy giờ bà mới bắt đi bà bù nộp giờ thì bệt té vào giờ thì bệt té vào bà về mò ai lúa từ giờ nào thì bà
đến đây vậy bà
mò bà tê mình sẽ luôn là ba nào rượu ta mình đã rồi nói về bà về mò ai bị một phố cái bị nào phải một phố cái bị nào phải bà về đã
mình đã
ai bị bà về nào mà mới bà về ai bù mà tay mới bà về đây mới bà về phải na bù đạm không
giờ này đó bà đi mà thế để từ đàm mà tết tóc rồi mà sẽ dẹp bà bố nó giờ này đó tận ta nói đi lại bữa nó bà nào mà tận đấy đó
nào vậy là bù mà về đã.
Relaxing after the morning's work on the other side of the forest, the men are rather more practical about marriage.
Phải ông gọi là nó đi ngay như này nó gồm mà thế vào nó phát đánh tới mà mất rồi nó gồm mà thế nào mà thế mà nào mi con mi bông ba lọ là mà với lại mà này anh đồ là đi anh này anh lò làm ăn thế này xía ra lên này xía mà lấy mi bông xía mà lấy mi bông này quay dạo nào có bảo vậy mà thế bà rồi tay bông ở đây nào cũng bằng phụ mà rồi này bà mà nuôi tay lo bà đồ làm thế
bà ông tụi lão nó đừng mà thế rồi nó ở tay đi mà thế rồi tụi lão nó đừng mà thế rồi phi vụ nó mà thế masih mulai berami sampai telah bawa ibu awal masih bayi lo upton apa jadi walom pam mengapa bayi lo apa pam marun pam mati sampai telah war berami sampai war bebanto sampai telah masih apa baju maling ke apa mau pulang pam maling ke apa apa
Nó mà tuần nào sao mà ăn 30 bà đi. Nó đau bà đi.
Tiêu đi rồi nó đi đi đâu đó tụi mà nó rồi.
Tao làm đến đây.
Nó là sen là phải đâu mà lên là phải phong cái mà lên cái tao mà hôm bỏ lo đây là nào internet đây đó bỏ là phải vay mà lại bỏ lo vay mà lại bỏ là và được tết mà sẽ là đỏ lên khá số bảo sao này đỏ lên đó được cái này đỏ lên đó này đúng không hay là phụ này đây là vay giá liền phụ này đây là vay giá liền đó mà giờ tiền mà gil phong giờ tiền mà gil vậy đó ya nó bự gil vậy đó này ya lên mà nó nằm lên đâu mà ये sambil को बामा दिंदा ले तेरा वो ओबरुरा में लेते ओबरुरा में लेते तो ओ ई बापा ने फोला बिले पजानो बरुरा तेला वा फे
no bam 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 man ra ra pe no wali ma bada no ga pa ai da re no ka param da le bon tao
bà nia ura pe ne bà mate nia ura mate la bà nia ura mate la bà agua vita nia ura no to ba me amati da mo ba ma mi mate lo bà no ya no ya di lo no ya mo bene ngau no be dai ba dai bà à một cú làm cái ba mate la rồi đi tao mà xin nó uống bể vậy mà làm món culo si boy nó uống vậy culo si boy là phải nó uống là nó uống mà bên này đâu nó mà.
The subject of Senembrew, the home of the sorcerer, brings back uneasy thoughts. The clan have had no news of the sorcerer since he disappeared after the death of Alahope's husband, but they're unaware that in Senembrew itself, the sorcerer's great uncle, Bevwale, has come forward and made a surprising admission. However, Bevwale defended his nephew, claiming he didn't act alone. He also revealed the gruesome details of the actual killing, how Alahope's husband was literally eaten to death without even realizing it.
sau ao mà tới đâu bị đó phò mà ghi phò mà riêng phò mà tới phò là bị bò à phía có mới bò ha qua sao bị tai này cái nó cái bò mà sao nó còn mà ghi là bị đó mà ghi là mà đi nè quá phò là bị mà tới đâu qua đó cái tai này nó mà phía nó có đi phò đi mà tới.
Bevwale ended with this warning to the clan. Ignorant of the men's recent discussions in the forest, the women, sensing that rain is coming, decide to stock up on sago, the clan's staple diet. As far as sago trees go, it's only a small one. The heart of the sago palm yields a soft white pulp that has a delicate flavor. At least the clan will have something to eat until they can check the traps in a couple of days' time. Sensing an oncoming storm, the women make for home. That evening, it begins to rain solidly. It continues for 4 days and 4 nights. The clan confined themselves to the ground hut during the day, waiting in vain for the rain to cease. Susceptible to colds and malaria, and without the benefit of a single item of clothing, it's crucial to stay warm and dry. Even so, a strange illness is going around. Hunting is now out of the question. Even the recent traps remain unchecked. Anom fills his time carving a Jew's harp from bamboo. There's a mood of ominous disquiet. No one mentions the sorcerer, but a strange sense of powerlessness is settling on the clan. Taking her mind off recent events, Dupe gets on with weaving a string bag. Even though this region has one of the highest rainfalls in the world, that doesn't stop the clan from resenting it, especially with their sago supply dwindling and not having any meat. It's all quite unnatural. Someone must be to blame.
Gula nang kau bala gul bi mali ton ali dai no va nu telan deve si ba nam blom blo fulo nam blom blo no ri mate do milo mate la ulo no wa ba ulo bana mali ve de dao ama fu je ye wa lo to lo do sal ma fu da lo ta apa wa li do ikan ila te da ya am la fa ba With the clan's food supplies virtually exhausted, Anom is keen to check the ground traps.
Abo pai lo foli bon dinga ngo mo lo nya kila al gai ban te lo kingu long te tala da abo apa pun dia abo
At the same time, on the other side of the forest, Dupe returns with Alahope and Sig to their fish traps. The river has risen noticeably because of the rains, and the women are hopeful. One small fish. And a crayfish that's not much bigger. Not a lot for 3 families. It's disappointing and unusual. The afternoon brings more rain. Looking out of the treehouse, Aliom, the clan's healer, begins to see a bigger, more ominous picture. He begins to question whether the sorcerer is actually the real problem. With so many bad things happening to the clan of late, he believes that an even more powerful force is directing the evil.
Tarita me moto ana tarita re mola ruho alo ba matel bo abutar obom tari mola bun ha wa uro rumpoto yano limpo diaro na upanto obom tela lo dao oba you jema frutela lo da you mabumia ki farulo.
For Aliam, all unforeseen events now, however trivial, were simply going to add to his suspicion that malevolent spirits are tormenting his clan. And what happened next, virtually within sight of the treehouse, was certainly unforeseen, but it definitely wasn't trivial. Their guardian bones had disappeared overnight.
You could have yelled, "You all band that in the Babylon day, you have to band at the Babylon that in the You have even the Babylon that in the
Molai Papa Abian Yakin, Mazaman, Mugamana, Okula, and Lotta, particularly Modingalo than me.
Why, we buy me like you also know who.
Their bravado conceals their bewilderment and fear that the bone should vanish right now. Was this the work of the sorcerer, or something else? In the world of the stone Karawai, nothing happens by chance. Anything unexplained must be attributed to something, whether it be a sorcerer or creatures of the spirit world. And they must be either confronted or appeased. Underlying the clan's fear is the worry that something else is going on here. The theft of the bones is just the latest mysterious and disturbing event since the murder of Alahope's husband 9 days before. A murder that has yet to be avenged. Alahope herself is becoming depressed. She and Doop still want revenge badly, but they know the cost could be tribal war. The chilling warning of Bevwale, the sorcerer's great uncle, has reached them.
Dubang ko bali mengkaro mamatinda ya alir mate ya no te lo botop te lo ya no lo tai wa te la ya no airne pumpate to fa ya alir mate to así automa no ko mo vola de tinda se mana te bede tinda matinda beraya pura mama tinda mo fu ya alir mate va lo na ya no bai la va lo bunda mo vai la pa lo ya ti ma te to ya me la todo mo mate da de no lo mate no mate na ma ba lo mate ni mate no me la linga no a leer mate
The men too have become very uneasy. It's they who have to do the killing. There's a sense the clan is in limbo. Should they kill the sorcerer and risk tribal war? Or is it more important to appease the ancestral spirits, as Aliam has advised? The elders have been persuaded by Aliam. They've negotiated an expensive and hefty sow from relatives and hope its sacrifice will keep the forces of evil at bay and possibly even solve their conflict with the sorcerer. It may not have been the most elegant slaughter, but what's important now is that the pig be cut up and divided according to Aliam's instructions. He entrusts the butchering to his nephew, Mate. Split bamboo provides a simple yet razor-sharp knife. It's not a grand or eloquent ritual. The offering itself is low-key and humble. There's a respectable wait for the ancestral spirits to enter the hut and eat their fill. Aliam is nervous. He wonders if they'll be satisfied by the offering. Just as important, he hopes the women's rage over the death of Alahope's husband will be assuaged by this ritual, and a sense of calm restored to the clan. In due course, the clan help themselves to what has been left. Dupe and Alahope have been uncharacteristically quiet during the offering and still look troubled. They know that revenge is the business of the men. They sense what is about to happen. Aliam has called a meeting of the elder men. Away from the women, he's asking them to now resolve the problem of the sorcerer once and for all. The men's measured decision to end their quest for revenge had avoided tribal war. But the haunting of the clan by sorcerers continues. By not killing and consuming Nanale the sorcerer, the spirit of Alahope's husband is lost forever. Both Alahope and Dupe accepted the men's decision with grace. Perhaps their rage had faded, but their grief for someone they loved was still strong.
ya no sambil itu udah lo dah sambil tarik mengkalo lah, ini no jadi mereka.